Hello everyone, welcome to PAC Week 4. A little late. This video is supposed to be out, I think, last Sunday. Today I'm recording this is the 4th, Thursday, I believe. Yeah, so a little late, but my work schedule is crazy, and I've been got a little bit addicted to Pikmin 4, so I literally 100% of the game in like 3 days, but that's besides the point. This week we faced off against the Sacramento Blings. I believe that's their team name. This is an interesting matchup for us. They've got Kyurem, which is really scary. Screamtail is kind of annoying to deal with. They've got a Greninja, which is a little scary. Free Terra, Great Tusk, which is interesting. So definitely some things to keep in mind. But I think we cooked up a pretty good team here. So I'm gonna go over it with you guys and show you what we've cooked up this week. First up, we've got Toriel, believe it or not. Yeah, the Wigglytuff has made an appearance with Frisk, Covert Cloak, Wish, Alluring Voice, Psychic Noise, and Protect. This is my Curemancer. Covert Cloak do not get frozen by Freeze Dry and Ice Beam. Helps with some other moves I forget, but overall just it's nice for that. Psychic Noise to hit Muck and prevent it from Black Sludge from I forget what other months it's for, but it's there. It also prevents Kyurem from roosting if it gets roost. I forget if it's a national dex move. Anyway, I'm recording this post a week after I built this, so I forget what everything does exactly, but you get the general idea. Alluring Voice to hit Kyurem, and Wish for keeping it healthy, same with Protect. That's about it for Wigglytuff. Next Bond, we've got Noelle, the Alomomola. Would you guess it? Assault Fist, again, 4 weeks in a row, baby, and we going strong. Flip Turn, Mirror Coat, Aqua Jet, and Scald. Scald to get burns and things that switch, like Great Tusk is just nice, Mirror Coat. For Kyurem, we live a Specs Freeze Dry from full, so that's a really good answer. If it's Specs, we don't have to worry about it too much. Flip Turn for pivoting, of course, and Aqua Jet to kill off something if it's in low HP. And we don't have to risk any flinches from Dark Pulse from Greninja, or if Great Tusk gets a Rapid Spin off, we can revenge it, stuff like that. So overall, just the usual. Some alienated EVs, but I'm not going into detail with those. But that's about it. For our next Pokemon, we've got Ralsei, the Manaphy. Terra Bug this time, because for some reason my opponent's team is perfectly positioned. He doesn't have a fire type. I don't believe he has a flying type either. So he doesn't have the things that hit Bug for super effective. Oh, no rock type either. So he can't hit Bug for super effective. And Bug resists both ground and fighting from Great Tusk. So Bug is weirdly really good into his team. So, we go for Terra Bug to take advantage of that. We can set up on Great Tusk for free, basically. Tail Glow is called Alluring Voice and Terra Blast, holding the Mental Herb. So I expect this Manaphy answer to be Screamtail. Screamtail usually checks these kind of attackers with Encore, so if we go Mental Herb, we can just get one off as he switches to Screamtail. And if he clicks Encore, we get rid of it, and then we Scald it, and we should be able to basically 2-hit KO or 1-hit KO everything on his team. Alluring Voice for Kyurem. Terra Blast is the most neutral move I have, and then Scald is just, my stab move. That's not Terra Blast, I can burn. If Great Tusk is Terra, anything that resists Bug, or in general just doesn't Terra, Scald is just safe. So yeah, that's a Manaphy set for this week. Really, really good into his team in general. He doesn't have many ways to revenge it. So if I get this going, it's really hard for him to stop it. So we'll see how Ralsei ends up doing this week. Up next, we've got Susie, the Sneasler, once again. Unburdened this time with Power Herb, Dig, that's right, Sword Stance, Dire Claw, and Close Combat. Okay, so I saw in Team Preview, or in the matchup sheet, whatever, he had a Muck. Muck is widely known to be one of the best Sneasler answers, because it's a very fat poison type. So you resist fighting, you resist poison. It gets Zen Headbutt, so it can one-shot me basically whenever it wants, but I found out that the Sneasler gets Dig. So I was like, what better way to get rid of this Pokemon? We get Rocks up with something else, or with Hazards, or general, just a little bit of chip on Muck, and then I'm pretty sure Power Herb Dig at +2 does 90% to Muck, which is kind of pathetic, but I mean, it's the best thing we can work with. So we've got that. Then the rest, Dire Claw and Close Combat is just for everything else. Like Jirachi, we can kill with Close Combat. After some chip, if it's fully defensive, it'll be a pain in the ass, but I mean, that's besides the point. Dire Claw, just to get statuses, like we can hit. I still don't remember what else is on his team, but most of the things I can Dire Claw, if anything, and yeah, you get the idea. Anyway, that's it for Sneasler. My bad. Next Pokemon, we've got King Chaos, a Hydreigon. Tree Specs this time around with Draco Meteor, Flash Gun, Dark Pulse, and Earth Power. Hydreigon is just really good offensively into this team. I can click a Draco Meteor and things will die. If Screamtail's present, which, I mean, of course it will be, I can Flash Cannon it. I think Flash Cannon does like 48 or something like that. So we can just force it to come in and take like one of those, and then we can just keep doing that over and over and over and over, and eventually Screamtail will go down, and if Screamtail goes down, Draco becomes really free, and basically every time we click it, something dies. Yeah, just King Chaos is really good offensively this week, so we had to bring him, and we'll see how if he ends up getting a kill or not. And last up, we've got Lancer, the MVP of week 1, 2, and 3. Well, not 3, but we don't talk about that week. Toxic Orb as always, Stealth Rock, Toxic, Earthquake, and Protect. Same as usual, Protect, because that means we literally get back 25% of our health every 2 turns, and we can't take damage for one of those turns. Earthquake, just to get an attacking move, Toxic to whittle down the opponent, and Stealth Rock to set hazards, to be able to make like the Sneasler sweep a little easier, stuff like that. Yeah, I think good team around. Gliscor's kind of tricky to use here because like 90% of his team has ice coverage, but I figured Gliscor is just good in general to have, since all of my other Pokemon just didn't really felt like a fit, you know what I mean? Like Rotom Heat could have been good, but free Terra Great Tusk means it doesn't really check it, because it could go Terra Fire, do not get burnt, it could go Terra Water to hit me for super effective, and hit Gliscor for super effective without the need for Ice Spinner. So it's just one of those that I just didn't really feel like I couldn't really fit Rotom like anybody else, and Gliscor just kind of fitted the need that I needed it to. So we went with that. Not much else to say about that's it. But yeah, that wraps up the team analysis. Now we are gonna move on to the match. So I'll catch you guys there. And we're back. So we're doing again post commentary for this. Just looking at the game here. He brought Greninja, Kyurem, Great Tusk, Jirachi, Muk, and Screamtail. I figured of course there's ways you can punish my Gliscor lead, but I figured if I can just get rocks, it'd be great. I can protect and get the Toxic Orb off. And after I got punished for it last week for not proccing the Toxic Orb immediately, like leading Gliscor protecting turn 1, I figured I would try that out, see if I can get, like, if it's a good strategy to just lead Gliscor and do that. So I wanted to give that a try. And, well, yeah. We'll see how it ended up panning out, as my opponent here decides, this is calculating, I'm assuming, for debating what lead he wants. We'll see what he ends up deciding on. And there we go. He has decided on a Pokemon, and now we can begin. We shall see what he has decided to lead. Of course, I know this already, but you know, gotta make it dramatic. So okay, so we saw Kyurem lead into Gliscor. So in this position, of course it's risky, you know, like Gliscor is really not ideal into the ice type. So I go for a Protect, which, I mean, of course, easily punished. But I figured I had to scout if this was Specs, because if it was Specs, I could be in a really big bad spot. But we see the substitute, so I'm like, oh no. Could this be Dragon Dance? And I'm like uber screwed because I didn't bring Fortress. But I'm like, I cannot let this set up if it's Dragon Dance. So instead of, you know, protecting or switching or whatever have you, I decide, you know what? I don't have many other options. So before, I was kind of debating if I should just go Weekly Tough. I decide in the end, right? Let's see my character just sit there for a little bit. There we go, goes back. And decides I cannot let this set up. So we go for an Earthquake to break this up, because I cannot have this behind the sub. Earthquake breaks the sum. Yep. As Kieran goes for an Ice Beam. Of course, one-shotting Gliscor, no surprise there. Lefties pop, so it's revealed to be lefties, it's not boots. I mean, we can't get rocks up anymore, so it's not like it matters, but yeah, we're down one Pokemon already, one of our best Pokemon in the first 2 turns of the game with nothing to show for it, so it's not great, but anyway. I could have gone Sneasler here, I could have gone Hydreigon too, but I decided to go Wigglytuff for some reason, so I went Wigglytuff. I mean, it is my Kyurem answer, but I whatever, anyway. I go for an Alluring Voice, I believe, right? Or a Psychic Noise. I think I do go for an Alluring Voice. Yep, we do see the Alluring Voice click as these do switch out into Muck, which I found kind of surprising because, again, going into this match, Muck's just seems like the obvious answer to Sneasler. So when Alluring Voice came out, I was like, wow, that did nothing. For this to be a physical defensive set, that should have done a lot more. So this is Spidef, which is interesting. Like, this is the Hydreigon answer, even though there's a Screamtail that's available, and I could have brought Roselli Belch, but that's besides the point. Yeah, so given that, even though I knew this was Spidef, I figured he couldn't do much to Hydra. Oh no, wait, I don't do that play yet. We go for a Psychic Noise. Do like 10%, I think. But this also blocks him from getting the thing. I didn't want to lose my... that's why I didn't switch. I figured Knock was a possibility. He wasn't just gonna poison move the incoming Hydreigon or Sneasler or whatever have you. So the best item I could lose, or the item I could afford to lose the most was Wigglytuffs. So I figured stay in, risk it, go for a Psychic Noise, not much I could risk. And after one that he sees, okay, he's willing to stay in here for some reason. So I'm gonna go for a poison move because nobody really clicks Knock twice in a row in this position because you're just throwing away HP for no reason. So we do go Hydreigon this time around as Poison Jab comes out, right? Yes, sir. Does a little bit, no poison, luckily. At this point, I'm like, do I want to go for a Draco? Do I want to go for an Earth Power? What do we want to do here? So I think I go for Earth Power. Yep, we do go for the Earth Power. Do quite a big chunk and still doesn't kill. I hadn't not realized how Spidef this Muck was. Like, this showed me like, okay, this is... They did not want this for Sneasler at all. Which again, I still find surprising. Like, this is his only reliable answer to Sneasler. Everything else does not count. Like, Jirachi's not an answer because you don't resist CC. Like, if I'm banded close combat, you don't live 2. So... You know, interesting decisions were made, but it's fine. We do see here let's see. Just switch, not wanting to, you know, throw away Muck for no reason, and go Screamtail on the Earth Power. As it takes a little bit more than it should. So I don't think this is fully Spidef. Because if it was Spidef, I think it does like 20%, and I think it did like 30-ish, around there. So, not wanting to lose Hydreigon, of course, to a Fairy move. I believe we go Noelle. Yep. We do go Noelle. It goes for a Eagleem, I believe. Yep. Does nothing, of course. Aloe is such a fun Pokemon, man. It takes nothing from any move. It's awesome. In this position, I believe we just go for a flip turn to try to reposition ourselves. We can go Sneasler, stuff like that. So it goes for a Psychic Noise to block Wish. I thought this blocked Regenerator, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't after playing this match. We're going to find out in a moment, because I think it shows you in the menu if it healed or not. Pretty sure it did. Let's check. Yeah, it does. Yeah, Psychic Noise does not block Regenerator, ladies and gentlemen. So that's good to know for a future. That would have been also good to know last week, but that's besides the point. Sneasler comes out, of course. I forgot to say that a little earlier. And I believe we go for a Dire Claw, right? So I expected Great Tusk to come in here, and I kind of wanted to get a Poison or a Status. Or I figured Muck would come in here too, but he just goes Jirachi, which is interesting. So it reveals his Sneasler answer to be Jirachi. Man, if I got my intended set off, it would have been so good. But unfortunately, we did not. In this scenario, we withdraw because we don't want to lose Sneasler to like a Psychic or anything. U-turn was kind of obvious, but you know, this way I also kind of bluff them Scarf. Or even just Band or some sort of trade set, because I didn't U-turn, I just hard switched. So he U-turns out, of course. I believe he goes Kyurem. Yep, he does go Kyurem. So in this position, Mirror Coat would have been a godsend, but since he's not Specs, and he has revealed Sub, if I click Mirror Coat, he's just gonna substitute in my face, because I can't do anything to Kyurem. Which we don't want that, so of course we're just gonna switch, I believe, right? I could have flip turn, but if he did just freeze dry, I didn't want to take all that chip, I believe. So I think I went Wigglytuff, right? Or did I actually flip turn? Yeah, I did just flip turn. Okay, never mind. Anything I just said. I just flip turn and risked the freeze dry. I mean, even if he did freeze dry, we would have been fine, but yeah. We do give a little bit of chip to the sub. It just does not matter. I don't think it, like everything else breaks sub. Aloe can't break sub. That's all it comes down to. So Wigglytuff comes out here. Yes, sir. Now Wigglytuff is floating too. I didn't know some Mons can do this. Like I know Gliscor can sit on the ground, and Metagross can float. I don't know what causes them to activate, but it's kind of cool to see. We Alluring Voice here because you know we want to start doing some chip, or do I wish first? No, I click wish first. Because clicking wish means I guarantee get 50% back the next turn. Do I protect the turn after? No, I think I didn't. I think I just Alluring Voiced the turn after. Right? I forgot. Yeah, we do go for the Alluring Voice. Because I believe that Max Roll from Ice Beam couldn't kill. Yep, we're good. And we go for Alluring Voice. Do quite a bit of chip. And we get our wish granted, which is great for us. After waiting for a while, they do switch Kyurem out. I believe they go Greninja. No, they go Mach, which makes sense, fair enough. And we do like their 2%, which is, you know, fun. They heal almost all of it back. So I think we did like 7%, and then he healed 6% with leftovers, which is kind of funny. So since I figured he's gonna go for a knockoff again, surely he doesn't read me staying in again. So we go for the Psychic Noise. Once again, to prevent more Black Sludge healing. And we do a huge chunk, thanks to a critical hit. Thank you, Lady Luck. Very cool. As he goes for yet another knockoff. Can you believe it? Isn't that crazy? So yeah, that means Muck is essentially out of the game because there's no reason to preserve this because it will not tank a single move from anything. So we send out another Psychic Noise and Muck goes down. Greninja comes out, and I figure, okay, this thing can't kill me, and Kyurem is not a set that I can't handle with other things. I go for Protect to scout if this is like a Protean set or a Battle Bond set, Goes for Surf, and Protean does not activate, so we learned that this is in fact Battle Bond. This Battle Bond could be a lot of things. Could be loaded dice, could be boots, could be Mystic Water, could be Life Orb, could be many things. So I figure we can get some chip on this. We can try to kill it with Sneasler, like bait out, something like that. We cannot let this get a kill, period. Like, no matter what. If this gets a kill, we're in a really bad spot. So I believe we go for an Alluring Voice, yeah, to get some chip. He goes for Surf, does like a little of her health. We still live. And we do over half. And it is revealed to be Weakness Policy, which is really scary. Because that means if Battle Bond gets off, I lose automatically, basically. That's not true, because I have Alamola, and Alamola will always revenge and kill this thing. But that's besides the point. So I figure, okay, this is really bad. I cannot, like, just start losing Pokemon, because if I lose a Pokemon, I am beyond screwed. So I figured, let's go Aloe, or do I protect for a turn and then I go Aloe? I forget. Yeah, I think I protect for a turn and then we go Aloe. We see Protect come out. And he goes for a Surf. This was just to scout if he had like Grass Knot or anything like that to worry about. I mean, Aloe's pretty light still, but you get my point. So we finally do switch to Aloe. Figure Dark Pulse doesn't do over half, I don't think. So we're in a good spot. Surf does like 20-15% to us, which we're, you know, more than happy to take. Now, I believe we go for a Flip turn. We don't have Alluring Voice, unfortunately. That would have been really good, because then we could kill it. But this week we traded out for Scald, which is fine, you know. We don't necessarily need it. We still have Aqua Jet, we still have Flip turn. We live most hits this thing can do to us, so we're in a fine position. We can't Mirror Coat it, unfortunately, because it's a Dark type. I found that out the hard way. So yeah, we go Flip turn. As Dark Pulse comes out, does like a little bit under half, I think. As we leave it on the red, Aloe comes back and regenerates all the damage it just took, because Aloe is the GOAT. And I believe we go Sneasler, which is a crazy play in hindsight, because Sneasler is not faster than Greninja. My brain thought it was, so I was like, oh yeah, this is a safe play. Like, Sneasler's faster. We're good. It's fine. It's not faster. Greninja's naturally faster. I just forgot to check the thing. But turns out this ended up playing out in my favor, because remember how I clicked Dire Claw and switched out? This would led my opponent to believe I was Scarf Sneasler. So he was like, oh yes, of course. He went Aloe to not have to kill Wigglytuff, to not proc the thing. And he Flip turned out to Sneasler so he could safely get me out. So he goes Jirachi to not, you know, drop Greninja for no reason. As we go for a Swords Dance, because I'm in my brain, I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna U-turn, and I'm faster than Greninja, and this goes kind of crazy. By the way, he revealed to be Terra Poison Tusk, because you're supposed to tell each other the Terras of your Pokemon before the match. So Dig was really good for that, I figured. He goes back to Greninja, and I'm like, whoa. Okay, that's an interesting play. He must have Water Shuriken, maybe, question mark? I just forgot that this was faster, but it ended up working out in my favor, so we take those, ladies and gentlemen. We take those. Greninja comes back out, as always, expected. Again, to me, I'm still confused. Like, why would he do this? Like, does he not know? So I go for a Dire Claw. Like, okay, I'm just gonna kill Greninja then, I guess. Before quickly being put in my place, because it gets extra sensory, of course, and it's faster. So I was like, oh, huh. If he just extra sensoried my Sneasler, I would literally have lost on the spot. I mean, not really, because I have Aqua Jet Aloe, but that's besides the point. So he activates Battle Bond, but this time he doesn't have the weakness policy boost, meaning it's not nearly as scary as it was before, because Dark Pulse does even less damage than it used to. So we can just flip turn here, I believe, right? Yes, sir. As he goes for a Dark Pulse. No flinch. Crit is really bad, or unfortunate, because that means we take even more damage with Aloe, and we don't get back to full, but it's fine. Grin survives in 1 HP, which, you know, unfortunate, but we deal with it, I guess. We send out Wigglytuff, and in here we're just gonna sack. There's no point in keeping this around. At the HP it is at, it cannot really check Kyurem, and it can't afford to get a Wish off when everything in the other team kills it. So we just here to sack. We click Wish just in case he like switches for some reason, we can get it healthy again. But he just goes for a Surf, I believe. He goes for an extra sensory, which fair enough, you know, it's neutral on both. So you don't have to risk like Dark Pulse into Wigglytuff not killing or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it did, but you get my point. So we go Aloe. Now that Greninja is this slow, we don't have to worry about it. We can just Aqua Jet and it goes down. And we don't have to worry about anything. No flinches, no nothing. Yep, there it goes. Bye-bye, Greninja. I believe his last 3 Pokemon are Kyurem, Great Tusk. Oh no, wait, he has 4 Pokemon left. Kyurem, Great Tusk, Jirachi, and one I'm forgetting. Oh, and Screamtail. So it's looking a little scary for me because I have 3 Pokemon left, and right now I have to give up 1 because I can't afford to take a Freeze Dry with Alomomola, and I don't want to go into Manaphy, so I have to sack King Chaos, unfortunately. Because I do not have a single Freeze Dry switch in. If he went for Sub-Hero, it would have been really scary, but he didn't, so we're good. I mean, I was faster with Hydreigon anyway, so if he did go for Sub, I would have just Dark Pulsed to break Sub, and then we would have been fine. But yeah, that's a benefit of Hydreigon being faster in this situation. Hydreigon does go down, he does go for the Freeze Dry, which puts us in a surprisingly bad position, but also good position, because of one little detail. We have Mental Herb on Manaphy. So we go Manaphy, of course. You know, Mirror Coat Aloe would work, but he has Sub again. So if we go Aloe, he's just gonna Sub and then win the game from there. So we go Manaphy, is our only option. And we go for a Tail Glow. And if he stays in on Freeze Dries, he auto loses the game. So his only play is to go into Screamtail. Even if he subbed there, I have Alluring Voice, which goes through Sub, so he would have died anyway. We tear a Bug here in case he did stay in on Freeze Dry. We don't take like a lot of damage. Again, Terrabug is really good defensively into his team. Like, surprisingly good defensively into his team. A little star has Terrestrialized. We go for the Tail Glow, giving us a +3 special attack boost, meaning we now one-shot Great Tusk, one-shot Kyurem, 2-hit KO Jirachi, and 2-hit KO Screamtail, which is pretty crazy. Screamtail in this position will 9 times out of 10 go for Encore, because of course that's how you stop supposedly a Jirachi. I go for Scald because I know for a fact that my little friend has a special mystical herb on his mouth that he is going to consume to get rid of the Encore. So it ends in Encore and goes for a Scald, doing over half of Screamtail's health. We are now in a fantastic position, because again, he can't go Great Tusk because Great Tusk just dies. We kill Kyurem, Jirachi can't really do much to us unless it's like Specs or something, which I don't think it was. I think it already revealed to be leftovers, I forgot. Oh, no, it's not leftovers, I remember. So we're in a really good spot right now. Scream goes for a Flamethrower, which is okay, fair enough. I expected Ice Beam to be more common since Gliscor is a bigger threat than Fortress, but you know, throws to Screamtail. Screamtail goes down to the second Scald, and now it's down to like 2v3. Might as well be a 1v3 because unfortunately Aloe is not doing much against his last 3 Pokemon. Maybe Tusk actually, I should give it credit for that. But Kyurem always beats a 1v1 because it got Sub. And I forgot the other guy. Oh, Jirachi. I think actually we can beat Jirachi with Aloe. So we just have to beat Kyurem. He goes Jirachi first. Jirachi can't really do anything to us. As he was revealed to be like his Sneasler check is probably defensive. And we do outspeed because I do have a good chunk of speed on MANAPHY to try to outspeed Jirachi. We burn it, which is great. If it was physical iron headset or anything like that. He just goes for a second kill, so burn didn't really matter. It gets a little bit of chip, but we're faster than his last two Pokemon, so it doesn't matter. We go for a second Scald, and now there's not much else my opponent can do. Kyurem just goes down to an Alluring Voice, and even if Great Tusk Terras, it will always go down to a Scald, so now it's just a matter of ending the match. Kyurem hits the field again, but as we know already, we outspeed it and we'll always one-shot it with Alluring Voice. And down goes the Kyurem. Out comes Great Tusk, his final Pokemon. Again, Terra Poison. And now we just click Scald, and there's nothing he can do to stop this play, as Scald will always kill and will always give us a win. I think the only way he could have lived that is if he was Assault Vest with like a lot of SpedF investment, but even then, like it would have left him very low. That Alomomola would have been able to revenge because he would not have had enough attack investment to like one-shot me with Supercell. And he could have missed Supercell, which would have been even funnier. But anyway, that's besides the point. But yeah, that wraps up week 4. Sorry for the late upload, you know, just been really caught up with working Pikmin 4. By the way, you should play that game. Fire game. Like, I literally played it non-stop for like all my afternoons after work or evenings, I guess I should say, for 4 days straight, 5 days straight, something like that. Fantastic game. Definitely recommend it. But yeah, this puts us, I believe, 3-1, which is definitely good. That means we just have to win 2 more games and we lock for playoffs. Our differential is really good. We still have only taken a 2-0 loss, or 0-2 loss, I guess I should say. Unfortunate again, because that could have been a 4-0 win, but I need to stop crying about that. So yeah, if we can get 2 more wins, we should be good for playoffs, and then we can start taking stuff easier, maybe bring Queen for a game, which would be really funny. So yeah, we'll see how stuff pans out. I'll catch you guys hopefully this Sunday. We'll see if the upload actually ends up getting edited by yours truly by then. If not, I'll see you whenever that video goes up, and we'll see if we make playoffs. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good one.